Hey guys, just to give you a quick bit of info on solar panels if you've got or thinking about getting them. Our preliminary testing has found the following. So we've owned a number of different sets of solar panels over the years. We love trying stuff out, so we'll buy it, try it, sell it or give it away and buy another set. And we just tell you how it is, there's nobody's paying for it or whatever, it's just how it is. So one of our, let's say our second last sets of solar panels we did some testing with, we'd have laying out in the sun like this, in the full sun actually, and quite often they weren't charging. They happen to be the King's brand, the King's 120 watt solar panels. We found some issues with connections and pins backwards in the Anderson plug, broken wires next to the Anderson plug, the copper inside, the plastic was there but the copper was broken. But even once we fixed all the problems and tried different regulators, etc., what we found is sometimes, even in the full sun, the voltage isn't up, it's just not charging. I really can't understand what the issue is. It seems to be intermittent, because other days, even in the cloud, it'll get the battery up to 14 volts, high 13s, 14, even over 14 quite easily. But one thing we noticed, and these aren't the King's ones here by the way, they're in testing on another vehicle at the moment, but you block one corner of so at the moment on this panel, for example, there's eight parts of the panel, right? So there's 8 pieces or sections, whatever you like. With the Kings, we notice if you block one of them, you get no charge whatsoever. Now, I'll check it again and I'll check it again, but I've checked it a couple of times, and every time you put something to block, partially block that panel, you don't get any charge, or very little if any, but I think it's none, but I'm not 100% sure there. Very little. Now these panels were supplied from Malandy Outdoor Adventure. They're in Thomastown, Victoria. They've got a website, you can check them out if you like, Malandy. A couple of really nice blokes, actually their names are Mal and Andy, funnily enough, so there you go. These panels are quality panels. They're made in the same factory as the Red Arc ones, I'm told, but there's a couple of reasons they're actually better, and I'm told they're better, but in testing they certainly work a lot better than the King's ones, and I'm told they're going to be more reliable. Like, what was the specification? You can drop a bowling ball on them from, I don't know, waist height or something along those lines, so they're pretty tough. All the joining in between the panels is good, but the reason I got them set up like this, they're half blocked by the sun. Yeah, you can see my head there, Anyway, they're half blocked by the sun, so that's actually quite a lot more blocked than the testing I've done with the King's ones. I've blocked half the panels by about 50%. Now the sun's on the move. I just want to go to the vehicle and show you exactly what charge we're getting. Now I wouldn't expect full charge, so the wire goes all the way to the front of the car. It's about 10 meters. This battery hasn't been charged, so it's running an Engel fridge, hasn't been charged all night. And looking at the voltmeter in the back there, you can see it's on 12.9. Now before I plugged it in, the battery was down near 12 volts because we haven't charged it for a couple of days. It's been hot weather and the fridge is running, right? So that's what you'd expect. My point I'd like to make is, this is not a massive voltage, right, 12.9, but it's charging, so that'll come up, and it's only using the cheap regulator. And when I say cheap, the cheap regulator that came with the panels is a regulator that works, but you can get better regulators, okay? Like having a DC charger. And we're going to do another video on batteries, solar panels and DC chargers in further detail, but I just wanted to point out, if you want cheap solar panels, you can get stuff like the Kings, and they may or may not work. You may need to track some problems down, do a lot of customer service with them, and that can be okay, or it can be a bit hit and miss, I've found with my experiences. Or you can just go and buy quality, right? And it's not just our findings of the charging as to how well it works. I'll go a bit further. So this extension, came with a King, so don't worry about that extension too much, but just the quality of the wires and where they come out. See this wire here? It's decent quality in the connections, the way they go in. Now with the King's ones, the wire quality just doesn't seem as good, and with some other cheaper brands as well, Chinese sort of panels that were made to a budget, leaving them out in the weather for a short period also reduces the effectiveness and corrodes away the wire to the point that you lose your connection. So it's kind of like if you're camping and you're out in the rain for a couple of days. See this wire here? This part of it's probably not going to be affected because it's sealed, but towards the ends and stuff, all the joins, I think the moisture gets in there, and because that's what we've experienced in the past, and had to shorten the wires to rejoin it, and that's where we found the corrosion and it's corrosion, and just the copper deteriorates. So anyway, guys, just wanted to provide you a bit of feedback on solar panels. That's what I've found so far. We'll keep doing more testing. I still think the large panels, if you want effective solar panels, the large folding panels, you know, the 2-panel thing, is probably your best bet, and they're better value for money. But if you want something that's compact, lighter, and easier to fit in the vehicle because you're traveling light, then these are the go. These work really well. Hey, give you know, Malandy a call if you need some quality panels. You get what you pay for. I believe these are really good. They certainly work a lot better. You've just been shown from a flat battery, and the panels are half in the sun, half the panels are blocked off by shade, and it still works, which I don't get that with the Kings. We'll do another video and we'll show you with those how blocking one corner. And the problem you got when you're out on site, you've got you know, you're near a gum tree and there's, you know, the sun's moving and there's just one branch in your way, or someone moves their chair or sitting at camp and the chair's blocking one corner, and you've just seemed to have lost all your charge. So it is things to have a think about anyway. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope that's been helpful for you, a bit of information. We're going to have another video soon. It's going to go for a fair bit longer, and I'm just going to talk about battery, what you need as far as dual batteries go, who needs one, what sort of batteries you need, what chargers you need and you don't need, or what might suit some people, cable size, chargers, solar panels, which ones, how many watts, who needs them, who doesn't, putting it on your roof permanently, if it really helps or not, if it's a waste of time. So we're going to sort of get that one together. It's going to take a bit of thought, and try and help you out with that information because it has been asked for. I hope this one helps with the solar panels. Cheap ones can be frustrating is what I've found. Go for quality. Thanks guys, see ya. Okay, so this is probably half an hour or so later. You can see the sun's moved a fair bit. We've got the panels laying flat. They're quite dirty and dusty. We haven't cleaned them. I think that probably helps if they're clean, but they've got a layer of dust on them. Let's just have a look and see what's going on here. Okay, so it's come up to 13.4, and of course got the fridge running. So that's while the fridge is running. Obviously the compressor's not running at the moment, but it's been cutting in and out. It's quite, you can see it's 37 degrees here at the moment. It hit 35 by about 9:30 this morning. Yeah, whatever, but I'm not complaining that it's hot. I'm just saying this is why I don't work, mate. You know, just standing here at the moment, you're just sweating just standing here. So as if I'm going to be working on cars in this sort of weather. Ridiculous. When it cools down, we'll get back to it. Of course, we're still doing parts, but this is not about that. This is the showing you the quality solar panels, how they work. We probably won't bother coming back to these again, but they'll be up to 14 in the next sort of half an hour to an hour, I'd say, and they'll be just pumping like that all day. Awesome solar panels.